Hello and welcome to Angel Messages. My name is Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today on behalf of Vertex of Abundance, Galactic Temple. Today we're covering the period, the cycle between the 11th of March all the way up until around the 24th, give or take a day of March 2018. Again, my name is Priestess Gorgeous and it's a delight and honor to serve as your oracle today. So, I have the key concept, idea, archetype, and principle of the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, the Death, and L'Impératrice, which is the Empress in reverse here. So there's endings. We're transforming something. And, again, like I said, my findings are that there's something we've been trying to nurture into creation. We've been a little bit postponed. Now we're not, but it's almost as if we've gotten insight into something, so we might be now somewhat yet hesitant to make some movements. I see these movements have to deal with a cycle that's going to be closing itself out a couple of weeks from now. Which is gratitude. We're going to be stepping into some gratitude because now we know what to work on. We can actually make some decisions. We might no longer be as overwhelmed as we once were. Now, there's a lack of receptivity to go on a journey. We might be having trouble or delays about going on a journey. And there's some difficult information coming out. There's information that we can incorporate. So when this information comes to us, and it will be coming from the areas of our relationships, soul groups, partnerships, otherwise friendships, the information that comes out, it's not something that we need to integrate. It's something that we need to release. So things will be coming up, truths about other people, places, and things. And when this happens, it's not going to be, oh, they love you, they like you. It's going to be, no, you need to let them go. You need to let them out your life. Because these people around us, this scale is going to balance itself. There's going to be a pendulum swing here. There's going to be a turn of events. Karmic reconciliation, karmic balancing, expediation. We've been holding on to these relationships, and these relationships they don't seem to be in alignment, and it doesn't seem to be the path that we should be going on. We need to release. There's a lot of energy coming out to tell us where we're stuck. And again, that's where we're going to be trying to make transformation and releases. Okay. So ultimately, we're either getting up from the table or we're grateful about what's left on the table. And I see that there's going to be some type of movement about the work that's left to do. And we're not going to feel very great about the work because we're going to discover that we're not in alignment with everybody that we thought we were. So our foundation is going to come from learning what to let go and no longer deal with. And aligning ourselves with what's alive in us, stepping into alignment, being in alignment in the physical, will create an environment where we're less confused. Seven of Cups, that can be emotional overwhelmment, too many options. It could also be, fantasy, states of euphoria. If you're on a drug, it could be being high. The Devil card is out. We've gone on some journey inside to our ego, though, in accordance with our beliefs. So what's getting stripped here is the ego of what the beliefs are. We might act from our ego when a belief gets triggered, a thought, something that's been programmed into us in terms of how things should be, how life is, and that naivete is being ripped away from us. Page of Princess of Swords in reverse. So we're being forced to confront some concepts and ideas, some messages, and they're coming out on their own. They're coming at us. They're coming to us. And we've gone on a journey inside the self in our relationships. Information's coming out that's not particularly pleasant, and it's going to force us to release, to go on the journey of manifesting what we want to be in alignment with. And unfortunately, it's going to be away from the people that are currently around us. The soul group relationships that we've been in and that have environmentally anchored around us, that's going to be dissipating. And there's nothing wrong with these people. They served a purpose in our lives at some time, but now we're outgrowing them or they're outgrowing us, and that's okay. And there is some type of call to action here. And it's to embrace the guidance on how to build better foundations. These missing answers that we've been seeking are coming to us. And they're not answers like information, epiphany, ideas. They are solutions, strategies, tactics for our foundation. So we've gotten through the ideas already. We've formed an intention. We've embarked upon that intention. We've built some type of foundation, structure, system, for autonomy, franchise, and control over our lives according to who we are, what we are here in the physical. And the means and methodologies around that needing to shift. Before we were committed, loyal to people that maybe have outgrown their use in our lives. And I'm saying that from a spiritual perspective. We've all served our purpose in each other's environment, and now we need to go manifest our actual tribe, who we're now in alignment with, who we're now vibrating and resonating with. And see, this cycle's been going on for the last couple of weeks, and now over this next week or so, about a week and a half, it's going to, so by the next angel messages, we'll be leaving, saying, okay, here's what's been going on with the universe. This is what the life should look like right about now. It's been a somewhat difficult cycle, but it's not a difficult ending. It's a painful one. And the two sound the same. There's a difference between a 9 of Swords and a 10 of Swords. We actually have a 10 of Wands and no 10 of Swords. And see, the reason that I don't call out the minor arcana is because I add up for the whole reading. How many swords are there? Sometimes there's more than just 10. You might have a 9 of Swords, a 10 of Swords, a King of Swords, and, a 2 of Swords. So I count all the minors together. So we have 11 cups. That's something that keeps talking. So 11 is the number of a bridge. Okay? And it's an emotional bridge of the authentic self, the emotional body, the soul, water, cups. That's how we got here, and that's what's going to get us out of here. That's the road, the door, the path that was taken. That's what 11 tells me. And in the middle of that, it's flanking this Wheel of Fortune. So there's a gate open, supported by this 9 of Swords. So over the next couple of weeks, especially onward from the full moon on the 31st, It's going to be a 2-week countdown of endings. And it's going to be a lot of information coming at us, both good, both bad, both ugly. And all we need to do is 7 of Cups, accept what is there. 4 of Cups in reverse, allow the cups to spill over, and whatever we're grateful for afterwards is what we need to work on. There's too many options on the table. There's too many things unknown on the table. Now we intuit that there's stuff going on, but we don't have the intellect, reasoning, communication, the logic, the actual factual facts there to put a label on what's going on. At this point in the game, all we can say, okay, well, I have this feeling alive in me. What is it? What am I being called to do? How do I want to go about this? Figure things out. Open up the levels. Open up the doorways of communication. It says here there's a call to action. Go on a journey to embrace and release. Embrace the situation for what it is. Don't brace for impact. Release, we're being let out of the soul group. And it's a positive turn of events. The Wheel of Fortune is upright. It's knighting that. And the Death card is going to make this Wheel of Fortune happen. But what it brings with it is us not feeling secure in ourselves. Empress in reverse, supported by the 5 of Swords. So we're going to need to align ourselves with the boundaries. 5 of Swords upright. The boundaries here. And see, we're not going to be able to make these choices. We have 7 choices at least with the 7 of Cups. With 4 of Cups there in that whole area, it says, well, there should be something you feel really grateful about. 4 of Cups in reverse is like the energy of like getting up from the table and love's no longer being served, turning down an offer. Now, you've been holding on to the offer for a while with it upright. In reverse, you're finally leaving it. Sometimes, in very rare meanings, it could mean that somebody's finally grateful for what's been offered because they finally figured out they got their head back in the game. And it's knighting another 4 of Pentacles here. It's the only Pentacles out here on the board. So 2 4s typically talks about there's a new foundation according to some type of shift. And there's 2 5s as well. So it's saying like, okay, there's a forced change, but it's a forced change that brings you into a new foundation. So you're already good. We're already good. We just don't feel good. And things are leaving, things are shifting, and it's a positive experience, but we might not perceive it that way. We might be wanting to hold on to our relationships instead of weigh up our options and figure out if we need to manifest bigger, brighter, and better for our lives in terms of our relationships. So we're not particularly happy about going on this journey because my findings are that there's a new insight and perspective here. The recommendation is to reflect upon your personal life and what you want to experience in your personal life according to your authentic self. The insight should come around your self-worth and value here. Okay. Yeah, letting go, innocence, and conditioning. So letting go of innocence, stepping back into purity. Innocence is the energy of the sun. Conditioning is the devil. Mental conditioning, social programming. The devil is the Pluto in the 11th house, Uranus in the 8th house. Can also talk about Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So Pluto in the 11th house means tyranny. Collective groups being oppressed. It can be talking about oppressing somebody's freedom. Uranus in the 8th house will talk about the spirit, not the source, but the spirit in some type of dynamic where they're giving their power away. Some type of shared emotional need to something where you're getting your affirmation from a place that's toxic to you. You might be hungry, you might go eat McDonald's. McDonald's ain't healthy. Eat McDonald's because you want to taste good food. Okay? Not because you want nutrition. You hear what I'm saying? So like you're going to a place to get your needs met, satisfy your hunger, quench your thirst, and it's actually toxic for you. It might temporarily satisfy you, but in the long term, you're actually giving your power away. That's what's been going on already. In the current, most precise moment, we're stepping into growth, renewal, expansion, vitality, enlightenment, and we're looking into ourselves. And what we're planning to do is let go, because what we have is no longer good enough. So that's Four of Cups in reverse is getting it from the table. Whatever's been offered. So the stability is about our personal power. We're stepping into the path where we begin to learn about ourselves. And so this Empress here in reverse is saying that we need proper boundaries, and we need to step back into alignment and collaborate with ourselves, get up from the table and love is no longer being served, satisfy ourselves, affirm ourselves. Okay, but that's all the messages. I am hearing a song though, and I can't. It's a salon song. The lyrics go, "He is only a man. He's made of flesh and bones. He bleeds just like you do." So, you know, when you got to shift the energy around, when you got to shift the environment around, when the universe knocks on your door and says, "Hey, it's time for a change," and you can't just be sitting there, but this devil that I'm hanging on to is my friend. I love him. He loves me. I want to leave. I don't want to leave him. Right? The whole wake up, they are only whatever it is that you are. They're made just like you. Means you may give more importance to something than it actually requires. And if that's the case, you're in delusion. There's darkness, an illusion around the place where you derive your power. And sometimes you derive your power from a belief system. And if you're giving more or less, there's a disproportionate need. That means there's an unmutual, non-beneficial needs exchange. There's fear about going on the journey to figure out beliefs. And when beliefs come up, our ego comes out. So the call to action is to embrace the situation and let go what is being called to let go. There is a forced removal here. Almost like an inheritance, a spiritual inheritance with this death than the Wheel of Fortune here. So that's what I see. Again, my recommendations are to go inside the self, journey to the self in terms of our personal life and how we want to manifest and how we want to go on the journey to manifesting our authentic self. Okay, it's been an honor and pleasure to serve you today. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything we said resonates deeply with you, you can contact us over at vertexofabundance.org. Take good care. Bye-bye. Peace be with you.